Hi everyone, this is Dave and welcome to my review of the OnePlus 6. Now, during my smartphone reviews, I'm not going to be covering off all of the specifications of the smartphone. They are readily available on the OnePlus 6 website. And in fact, if you want to pick up a OnePlus 6 for yourself, there's a link down in the video description area. If you use that link, not only can you pick up your very own OnePlus 6, but you also get a bonus voucher as well. So please do use that link if you're ordering. Now, this particular OnePlus 6 is the Midnight Black version. If I just take the cover off, you can see the colour on the back. So this is like a matte black or a silk black finish. This is the top end of the OnePlus 6 models, and it has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. And in fact, this is a glass back, and it's got lots of tiny little perforations on it that obviously don't go all the way through. They're just sort of on the surface, and they give it this really nice matte finish that doesn't pick up fingerprints. How cool is that? Now, the other models in the range that have varying amounts of RAM and storage are available in black as well, but they're like a gloss back, and there's also a white version coming out very soon as well, which I believe is like a silky type finish as well. But this is really very nice. I do like the finish on this. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is build quality. The build quality is amazing. The fit and finish, the materials they've used around the edges just all add up to a really solid smartphone. And I also like the overall design. I like the fact that this is a nice sort of tall format ratio on the screen. I also like the dual cameras on the back and that fingerprint sensor. In fact, if I turn the screen off, so you can see it turned off at the moment, and you can see my finger here. Let's place that on the sensor, and it just wakes up so quickly. It's a very fast fingerprint sensor. I'll do that one more time. Very fast at waking up. So the actual performance on this, which I'll talk to you in more detail later on, especially the fingerprint sensor, is really good. Do stay tuned throughout this video as well, because I'll be showing you some of the photos that I've taken with the OnePlus 6 as well. Now, screen quality, there is an issue. Overall, it's fine. It's very crisp. You can see the vibrant colours there. It's AMOLED technology. Really goes up nice and bright, so I don't think you'll have an issue with looking at this face on. And for looking at photos that you've taken, and indeed watching videos, really very nice indeed. No complaints there at all. Where I do have a complaint is with this. Now, we have seen problems with AMOLED screens before on other smartphones, including the likes of the Pixel 2 XL. This one, looking straight on, is really nice. It's not a cool white, it's not a warm white, it's a nice neutral colour. But when you go off axis, so if you look at this off axis at this angle, you get like a blue tint. And then if you look at it from this angle, you get a really bright cyan blue tint. Let me show you that closer. So not good at all. And then for me, it doesn't show very well on camera, but from this axis, you get like a rainbow effect. And it's really off-putting. I would much rather have a really good quality Super LCD screen or like an IPS display rather than have that on an AMOLED display. So I'm not that keen on it. Now, this has got a notch at the top here. If I go back to maybe my app tray, you can see the notch a little bit clearer. You can hide this in some software and some apps, or I think you can actually hide it system wide as well. And some apps actually stretch the app to the whole display. Some of them just give you a black bar across the top, much like when I'm using Google Chrome. You've got this sort of black bar at the top, so you can't see the notch, and then it just leaves the notifications and the little symbols up at the top. So does the notch bother me? I know that's a question that a lot of you have asked. Well, it's less obtrusive than the notch on the iPhone 10 because it is a bit smaller, but I still think that these companies are actually being lazy. They're following this trend. It's an easy solution. They haven't got to find a way around it. And I'm just hoping that the next generation of smartphones we get don't have notches in the display, because it is still distracting, but admittedly I'm getting used to it a little bit, and it's a little bit less distracting than the one on the iPhone 10. Speaker quality, very good audio from the speaker when you're watching back videos. Really nice and loud, nice and crisp, nice and detailed. And when you're making phone calls, very good quality from the earpiece as well. Is it fast and responsive? Well, certainly during my time testing this, I've had no problems with any sort of dropped frames on the screen transitions, no lag, nothing like that at all. And I've been using it for a couple of games I've tested, but mainly for social media, interacting with emails and things like that, and watching videos, and I've had no problems at all with responsiveness. So I think you'll be very, very pleased. With regards to camera quality and video quality, let's talk about video first of all. It captures up to UHD, 30 frames per second, and for the most part it's very, very good. Again, nice dynamic range in the videos. The problem I have is that on some of the videos, depending upon the sort of resolution and frames per second, it uses electronic image stabilization. On some it uses optical image stabilization. You can actually see the camera moving within its mount. So when you're taking photos, it uses optical image stabilization, and it also uses that for some of the video formats. Then the optical image stabilization in video shows itself as being a little bit jerky and janky. It's just not very nice to watch. When it's using electronic image stabilization, it does a superb job. I wish that they'd use electronic image stabilization across the board when taking video. For photos, it just does a really good job of photography, with one exception, and I'll show you that on your screen now. On this particular photo, we got this lens flare, which admittedly it was a nice sunny day, but it didn't need to be there, and it was distracting from the photo. The rest of the photos turned out really very, very good indeed. You can see my dog Milo here, who's a Shih Tzu, and the details in the hairs, very, very good as well. Also, this particular photo of flowers, really accurate tonal quality, accurate colour reproduction. This is what I was seeing with the naked eye, and I think it did a brilliant job on this particular photo. And then we got a photo of my watch. This one, the colour shift was a little bit out. This is a crisp white dial on the watch, and I think it picked up some colour from the surroundings, and it just didn't give that crisp white dial to the watch. So, but overall, still a very nice image. Now, going back to the performance, or more appropriately the battery life on here and charging. Now, there's no wireless charging on the OnePlus 6, but we have got USB-C on the bottom, and they supply what is one of the best chargers in the box on current smartphones. It's called the Dash charger, and I think it's roughly about a 15-minute charge, gives you 50% or something crazy like that. Don't quote me on the figures, but it charges superbly fast. And the battery actually lasts very well too. I've been using this a lot for my tests. I've been recording a lot of video, taking a lot of photos, testing a lot of applications, and the battery lasts a whole day easily. If you're a light to medium user, day and a half, no problems at all. How does it feel in the hand, and what's the design like? Well, it's very comfortable to hold. I mentioned in one of my videos about, I think it was the Galaxy Note 7, it felt unwieldy and sort of top heavy. This one, really nicely balanced, no sharp edges sticking in, just a really quality phone that's going to feel very comfortable if you're holding it for prolonged periods of time. Design wise, I like everything about it, especially the colour of that matte black. The midnight black is awesome. Good job, OnePlus. The only thing I don't like is the notch. That's the only detracting sort of aspect of the design. I think, in closing, if you're looking for a really decent smartphone running Google Android latest version, then you're going to be hard pressed to find something that delivers this sort of specification, this sort of performance, and this sort of quality, albeit with a couple of little niggles for this price point. I think it's very, very hard to beat. Now, during my live broadcasts about this smartphone, I had plenty of questions coming in. One person asked, did it actually get hot during use? Well, apart from when you're playing really sort of graphic intensive games where it gets a little bit warm, it doesn't get hot at all. Using the camera as well, it doesn't overheat whilst recording video, so that's really good. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. I can really highly recommend the OnePlus 6. And if you want to pick up one for yourself, there's a link down below. If you use that link, not only do you get a really good smartphone for the price, but you also get a bonus voucher as well. So that's it. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in another video very soon.